Welcome to Beyond Synth. Please note, Beyond Synth is an explicit program and may contain inappropriate language. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Hey there, welcome to the show. My name is Andy Last, and you are listening to Beyond Synth, episode 102, or episode 102 if you're a cool guy or gal. It's all good. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's having a lovely day or night. Whenever you're listening to this, you're allowed to listen to this whenever you want. That's the best part, is the freedom of choice to listen to this podcast whenever you want to. Like, for example, I am recording this today at 4 in the morning. It's literally 4:13 a.m. So if I'm talking a little softer right now, it's because I don't want to wake anybody up, because I don't want to destroy any illusions about how you think this show is recorded, but it's recorded in my house, in my lavish $1 million studio. Anyways, today on the show is Timecop1983, and we have a fun chat. I should warn you, there is some bad language in this one. You know, I always find it fun when I talk to people from different countries, and I like to ask them about their swear words, and so we find out the the Dutch equivalent of the C word, which is the K word in the Netherlands. So I hope you enjoy that. So just a fair warning, if you're offended by the C word, you are going to be offended during this conversation. But if you're a cool person who's not an asshole, who doesn't get offended by words, then you'll be fine. And I hope that that's what my audience is, or else they were probably pissed off all the time by this show. Beyond Synth is brought to you by Down to Jam, by the way. That's a free website that helps musicians around the world connect based on musical compatibility. If you're looking for a partner to jam with or to fill a spot in your band, you're going to want to check out downtojam.com and sign up. That's downtojam.com. Now let's listen to some music. This is a cool track from Kalax from his new album. This is Time Lapse. And that was Time Lapse by Kalax. Get into it. I don't know. That's going to be my new music thing. I only really say that's a cool track or I dug that one, so I need some new phrases to say when I'm done listening to music. So if you want to help me out, let me know. What are some things you say when you're done listening to a song? I'm not a very good broadcaster. And if you saw the Beyond Synth YouTube channel this week, you will see that I made an announcement. Marco Merrick, who used to host Synthetic Sundays, is going to be joining Beyond Synth for a weekly segment called Keepin' It 80s with Marco Merrick, and that is going to start very soon, maybe even next week. And that should be fun. So basically every show now, Marco is going to join me for a little segment. I think it's probably going to be around like 15 minutes or so. And he's going to talk about some of his favorite songs that week. And we'll chat about it and stuff. So that should be cool. And everyone who watched the video seemed to have a lot of positive feedback. So people are excited for that. And that should be fun. Marco's a fun guy. And if you haven't yet seen the video announcement, go check it out on the Beyond Synth YouTube page. And of course, remember to check out all the Beyond Synth stuff, the Beyond Synth SoundCloud page. That's soundcloud.com/beyond-synth. There's facebook.com/beyond.synth.podcast. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter @AndyLast. And if you're listening to Beyond Synth on Power 85 on Thursday nights at 8 p.m., you should also check out Power 85 Radio on Twitter and also Project Friday FM. It's just a cool thing you should do, that's all. You like to do cool things, right? Let's go to the junk email folder real fast. We're just going to do a little quick one today, just because I got this thing and it just confuses the shit out of me. So let's go.
Here we go. It's time for the part of the show where ending is tough. 'Cause no one likes junk emails. We don't like junk emails. But when Andy gets junk emails, he reads them out loud on the show. Power 85.
All right, so you know when you get junk email, you know, there's a specific scam, and some of them are very clever. You know, it looks exactly like an email from Amazon, but they're like, oh, there's something wrong with your credit card information, and you need to, retype in your shit or whatever, and that's fine. Then sometimes you get these junk emails that I don't even understand how they would even fool an old person. Like, a lot of the times the scam is to trick people who aren't very computer savvy, but then you'll get these emails that are clearly written by robots that don't seem like they're designed to really trick anyone. So I get this email. Here is the subject line. Throughout long years of our practice, we have gathered unmatched experience in pharmacy! ! And then the first line of the email, and this is the whole email, is this. Luxuriously stowed up space is incorporated in LifeWing's program Yet Another Later. Practice and burned at acquainted with tissues as whatever go high. That's it. It's from, and that was from Canadian Pills. Who is that supposed to fool? I don't even get it. Anyone who's going to click on that email is just going to be like, well, this is a bunch of fucking gibberish, and they're not going to click the link. So if someone can help me out with this, I just don't get it, and I've never got it. And on the... And this is just a little quick thing, but on the subject of bots, because obviously that was written by a robot, a few weeks ago, on Twitter, I just wrote, Zelda is as good as everyone says it is, because I've been playing Breath of the Wild, and I just was like, sometimes I see people who seem to respond weirdly or defensively when a game gets universally great reviews. Like when a game comes out and it gets 10 out of 10 on a bunch of websites, there's always that nerd that can't handle the idea that it might just be a great game, and so they have to have a problem with it. So I was just saying that it's as good as everyone says it is, that's all. And then I get a response from, there's a few bots, well, there's a lot of bots actually that follow my Twitter account, and some of them, they have these weird responses to things. So I said, Zelda is as good as everyone says it is, and then I get this reply from Kiji eBooks, who says, learn what Superman ice cream is. What does that mean? Sometimes I think this is all just code for something. Anyways, let's listen to a song and we'll do some more business. This is Earmake. I think that's how you say that, with a track In Your Dreams. And that was In Your Dreams by Earmake. And that's a cool song. You can check out his page. Actually, don't forget that on the SoundCloud Beyond Synth page, if you click on the Show More button, you'll get all the artist links to all the artists I feature on the show. So if you dug that song, you can check out all the links. And then you can be like, ooh, Earmake, that sounds cool. Does he have a Bandcamp? And you'd be like, well, yes, he does. And then you can check out those links from there and support all these cool artists. So listen, let's go to the Patreon.
Now you better listen up, 'cause I'ma tell you what to do. That's who to show up on Patreon, that's for real. Subscribing, you belong up in the higher echelon. Now let's see who gave money on Patreon.
So Beyond Synth has a Patreon. I think you know what that is. Patreon is a way you can donate money to the show. It's kind of like a Kickstarter, except it's a monthly donation system. So you can donate as little as $1 a month up to $3,000 or $4,000. Somebody donate $4,000. You can literally become the producer of the show. It'll be a great title for you. You can tell all your rich friends, you can be like, I produce a podcast, you know? I'll give you producer credit. You want to give me $4,000 a month, I will give you producer credit. I'll say whatever you want. This is the idea. I'll just let everybody know how big of a sellout I can be. You give me $4,000 a month, I'll be a fucking shill for the oil companies. I'll do whatever. Anyways, so donate... So if you want to donate and support Beyond Synth, it would mean a lot to me. It does mean a lot to me. And the more people that donate, it allows me to make the show even bigger and better. We got goals to reach. And every time we reach one of those goals, we add new features to the show. We're working on a video version of Beyond Synth right now, which is going to be cool. And I can't wait to start showing you guys because I've been doing tests for the show. It's still many months away, but it's coming. Anyway, I want to thank some new donors this week. We got Tom Robinson. Thanks, Tom Robinson. You're a cool guy for supporting Beyond Synth. We also have Mikey X. Or is it Mickey X? I recognize your thing. You've been listening to the show for years, but I never really said your name out loud. Mickey X or Mikey X? Anyways, thank you for donating, dude. Let me know how to pronounce your name, and I'll pronounce it correctly next time. And now we're going to go to my lovely $5 donors. There's Kai, there's Saloya, there's Joe and Lando. And in actual fact, Joe, of Joe and Lando fame, he's the one who did that Nagel-inspired image of me that I used in the Marco Merrick announcement video. So at the end where there's that music video part where we play the new hoo-ha jingle, and there's sort of like a Nagel-inspired art. It's Patrick Nagel, right? Anyway, Joe's the one who did that. So thanks to him. And thank you to Roman and Devious Raven and Bobby B and Johnny Turnell and Dougie Fresh and Lame Robot and Mono Memory and Florence Bullock and Matthew Lister and Simon Norberg and Velingo and Nougat Ninja, Mike Shima, the Rosconian, Night Raptor, who we're gonna hear from shortly because I'm gonna play a track from his album, which is pretty cool. Then there's Stu M and Ross Pentland, Dana Jean Phoenix, Tristan Waits, Raul Pud, Aled or Aled. We still got to get confirmation on how to say that. New $5 donor this month, Grant Bouvier. This month? This week. Grant Bouvier. Thank you, Grant Bouvier. You're a cool guy. Bouvier is Marge Simpson's maiden name. A little trivia for you, Grant. But thank you so much for donating to the show. It means a lot to me. You're a cool guy. Thank you very much. And then there's Ethan Hennings. And of course, the donation of the beast. There's Hellroy and Lucas Ceballos, Blake Peterson, and Carm, all donating $6.66, the donation of the beast. But then Max Hutchings has tried to outdo them by donating $6.67, which is 1 cent better than the donation of the beast. And you have to ask yourself, is 667 more evil because it's a larger number? I'm not very good at numerology, but thank you all very much for donating. And now, my lovely $10 Pattersons. There's Jake Last, Trevor Resnick, Colin Bennett, Fraser Davidson, Victor Garza, Ezra Van Dam, Winfield, Will Lowe, Nathaniel Rivera, Polly Digital, The Angry Rambo Show, Slunks, Greg Smith, Ashley Keegan, and Jacob Wick. And we got 2 new $10 donors this week, which is exciting. We got Joshua Evanson, who's a really cool guy. I don't know if you know too much about Joshua Evanson, but I do. I don't. And but I know he's a cool guy because he's donating to Beyond Synth. So thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. Yeah, man, you're a cool guy. And then there's Tim Walmsley. Hey, Tim Walmsley, how are you? You're just as cool as Joshua Evanson. You know why? Because you donate to Beyond Synth, and that makes you a cool guy automatically. Maybe if I can get some merch going for the show, I can just give out badges. There are pins that people can wear that allows the world to know that they're cool guys and gals. Because, if you donate to Beyond Synth, that's what you are. And thank you very much for your support. And of course, the king of the Pattersons this week is Chris Dance with his awesome $25 donation, which makes him the king of the Pattersons, Chris Dance. So thanks, dude, and thank you all for your support of Beyond Synth. Let's listen to a track. This is Night Raptor featuring Star Force. This is Revelation. And that was Night Raptor featuring Star Force with the track Revelation. And that's a cool song. Night Raptor was on the show a few weeks ago when I did the listener call-in show, but he's also a talented artist. In fact, a lot of people who listen to Beyond Synth are also synth musicians themselves. And I acknowledge that, and it's cool. It's a place where people can listen to new stuff and get inspired and make music themselves. So I think that's totally cool. Totally cool. I don't know if I really have time to do any mail sack this week, but I will remind you all that if you do want to send a letter to the mail sack, you can contact me the same way you would send me tracks, either at the Beyond Synth Facebook or the Twitter account or the SoundCloud. You can just send me a message and you can title the message Mail Sack, MAILSACK. You can write me a letter and I'll read it on the show in the Mail Sack segment, but this part of the show is already going too long, so I'll read some more next week. We'll do that. It'll be a lot of fun. So how about this? I have one more track I want to play, which we're going to do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to mention before we go to it. All the jingles on Beyond Synth are done by Hoo Ha. That's at the Hoo Ha on Twitter. And of course, the theme song for Beyond Synth is by Ogre. And it is the track Sure Thing off the album Calico Braun. It's a great song, one of the best, and I'm always very happy that he's allowed me to use it for the show, man, because it's fucking kick-ass. So here's a new song that I'm going to play you right now. This is from The Universe, and this track is called Multiverse. And that was Multiverse by The Universe. Lots of verses there, and that's a cool song. I dig it. You should dig it too. And what else? I think that's all I got for you right now. So let's go to my conversation with Timecop1983. Hope you guys are having a lovely day, and hope you enjoy our chat. Here you go. All right, man. So I think it's working.
Right, perfect.
So how's it going?
I'm alright, thank you. Finally, we're talking, so...
Well, I should properly introduce you. So I am now talking to Timecop1983.
Yeah, baby. Hey, Andy, how are you?
How do you pronounce your name?
I always say it in Dutch. I always say Timecop in English, but then 1983 in Dutch. So I guess it should be Timecop 1983 in English then.
Why? What do you say?
I say Timecop 1983.
Timecop 1983.
1983.
1983.
Yeah, like that. Are you Dutch?
Yeah, man. Born and raised.
Oh, wow.
No, but how do you pronounce your actual name?
It's Jordi.
So it is with a soft J, because I had Dynatron on the show.
Ah, yeah, Jeppe.
A little while ago, yeah, and that was another one where I'm just like, I never knew how to say his name, and now it's
you always say Jeppe or...
Yeah.
With me, it's the same. It's Jordi. So it's also people from, I think it's from Newcastle or something in the UK.
Yes,
they call them
Geordies.
like Geordie Shore and with the TV show. But it doesn't matter. I mean, call me Timecop, call me Jordi, call me Jordi, whatever you want.
Well, I'll call you Jordi, right? Because that's how you... So is that okay? The way, like, if I say Jordi, or do I have to be like Jordi?
That's perfect. No, yeah. Well, it's a Spanish name originally, so if you can say Jordi, it's okay as well.
I don't know if it's gonna sound great me calling you Jordi.
No, that's all right, man. Just call me whatever you want.
Hordy, okay. Hord, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Something like that. Nah.
Anyways, man, so you are a Dutch person.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Born and raised.
I think you're the first Dutch person I've had on the show.
Yeah, there's not many Dutch synthwave producers, so that could be right. Yeah, I'm honored.
Good. Tell me a bit about being Dutch.
Yeah, being Dutch is great. I mean, yeah, no, it's all right, man. The weather is shitty here, but especially now there's a really big storm coming over the country now. So I'm here in the studio. Sometimes the roof is squeaking so hard, I'm like ducking, or is it gonna collapse or not? So that's the weather here.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, it's a great country to be in. There's a synthwave scene coming up, so that's really great for me, actually. I'm doing some live gigs in the Netherlands now as well, doing more and more. So for me, it's great, you know.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
What else goes on over there? You got lots of people smoking dope. What else?
Yeah, they're legalizing it now. They're regulating it, so the government is going to produce the weed, or they're thinking about it. They just passed a law for it, I think. But yeah, there's only stoned people on the road. Everywhere you go, there's like people lying in the ditch, and it's just the usual thing. Nah, it's not that bad. Only in Amsterdam, there's a few coffee shops. Well, there are coffee shops all around the country, but only in Amsterdam it's kind of a problem, I think. But it's mostly because of tourists. They don't know how to behave, and they smoke so much. So, but it's all right.
Well, that's the thing, man. I mean, that's the cliche of Amsterdam, right? Because that's all anybody ever talks about that place.
Yeah, hookers, cheese, wooden shoes, and joints or coffee shops in Amsterdam. That's all there is.
I would say probably weed and hookers is at the top of that list. But I guess cheese is on there too. I don't know.
Yep, Gouda cheese.
If there's some way to combine all of these things.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. I will be there all day then.
So, man, you're telling me what, you're in a storm right now? Is it storming at your place?
Yeah, it is. It's not that bad actually, but they said it would be worse, but it's kind of storming, so the roof is going all crazy in my attic. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's just raining all day and kind of windy, so we'll get over it.
Yeah. I guess we should start talking about the music here.
Yeah, finally.
Timecop. Well, finally. I have ways on this show to push the music talk right to the very end. So if you want to talk about hookers for another 10 minutes, I could probably do that.
That's all right, man. Let's talk about the music.
So, Timecop, are you a fan of the film Timecop, or was that just a cool sounding thing to you?
Well, I don't think it's cool, but I actually haven't seen the movie at all, ever.
Oh, maybe you might change your band name if you did.
I probably should, because I hate it. But when I started making music, or when I started making synthwave, I wanted to put my music online on SoundCloud, and I had to think of a name. And I was a pretty big fan of Future Cop back then, and I was thinking about, okay, what kind of name do I want? Well, it's something with cop or something, so probably Timecop, and then my birth year, 1983. Timecop1983, yeah, sounds alright. So I made an account on SoundCloud, and I just never got rid of it, and now it's so me, I guess. So I don't mind it that much anymore, but I wish I had picked another name when I started. But yeah, I've never seen the Timecop movie of Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I probably should watch it. I played the Super Nintendo video game last week, and that kind of sucked, so if that's...
Well, like, all those old licensed games are never good.
Oh man, but Timecop is like on the top of the worst games ever. If you have the chance, you should look it up on YouTube or something. It's just so bad.
Oh no, I'll play it. I like going back and playing all these old games. It's fun to me.
Me too. I bought a Retrowave.
I got one too, but I have an issue because I really wanted to play arcade games.
Yeah.
And it's not compatible with all the titles, which was a bit of an issue for me because I wanted it specifically for the arcade, not necessarily the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis stuff. But so I still have it. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it to somebody. I don't know what to do. We should. Hey, but let's listen to some fucking music here. Let's start. Let's dive into the Timecop library here.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the beginning.
To the beginning. Wow.
Because you got a cool sound. Which I think you refer to as dreamy, romantic synthwave, which pretty much sums up your style.
Well, thanks.
This is from the Synthetic Romance EP.
Wow, that's my first, I think.
Oh yeah, man. This is Fading Memories.
Oh yeah.
And that was Fading Memories by Timecop1983. Or what was it again?
1983.
1983.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Before the end of the show, we're gonna have to teach me all the Dutch swear words as well.
Oh yeah, please do. That would be so cool.
But we'll tease that for later.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this EP, man, because I was like near the start when you started putting stuff out. So what were you thinking, man?
Yeah. Well, I have been making music since I was 12 or so. And I started out in MS-DOS with a Scream tracker, so that's pretty old. And but from the beginning, I wasn't musically teach or anything, so I didn't know how to write music or how to read notes or whatever. So I kind of started playing around with it and did it for a few years, and I made everything from hip-hop to classical music until a few years ago. I was like, okay, I should make a choice now, because I was always fiddling around, never finishing anything. So I just thought to myself, either I'm going to choose for one style of music just to create something, or I'm going to quit making music because it wasn't going anywhere. And that's when I saw the movie Drive from 2011 with Ryan Gosling, of course.
Never heard of it.
No? Oh, you
I've
should
never
watch
heard
it.
of
It's
this
a great
film.
movie.
Yeah.
Of course. Everybody knows it. So yeah, I was like, oh, this music is great. I've never heard it before. It's just a little bit of Kavinsky before. But that's when I heard the Electric Youth song with College. And I was like, I want to create this music. I want to try to create this kind of music. And that's where Childhood Memories, that was actually my first song. And I put it on SoundCloud with my really cool Timecop1983 name. And yeah, that's kind of got the ball rolling, so that's kind of the start for me.
When you were a kid and the cartoons and stuff or whatever that was on TV,
Yep.
did they dub them into Dutch?
No, they didn't. So, and I'm really grateful for that because, I don't think my English is perfect. I have a really big accent, but it doesn't matter. I really understand English really well because of those comic shows and TV programs, so I'm really grateful of that. So it's not like everything is in Dutch, and that's great.
Well, that's cool.
Yep.
What were some of the things you watched?
I watched a lot of X-Men, Spider-Man, Eek the Cat. Do you know that show?
Fuck, I remember that. That's one of those ones that I just been out of my brain until this exact moment.
Oh, wow. With the terrible thunder lizards. They were my favorites. That was an awesome show, man.
Terrible thunder lizards.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
That's their name, right?
Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I think it's from Eek the Cat. I'm not sure now. I'm starting to doubt. I'm going to look it up. Terrible thunder lizards.
Get to work, Time
Yeah,
Cop.
for sure. Yeah, it is. It is Eek the Cat. It's with these two guys from the Stone Age with the 3 dinosaurs that are cops or something like that. I grew up on that, yeah.
I mean, because what year would that have been? Because you're 83, so that means you're only slightly younger than I am. So maybe there was a few... I don't know how quickly this stuff got its way over to...
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure from which year it is. You know Eek the Cat, right?
Yeah, I remember it, but it wasn't necessarily something that was like on my personal like cartoon roster, but I know it.
Yeah.
Like when you say Eek the Cat, all of a sudden I just have this stupid image of this cat, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's a purple cat.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm a few years younger. I don't know. It's from the first episode was from September 11, 1992. So I was 9 at the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because for me, I probably said this before, but like because of my age, there's certain things that you're just on the cusp of sometimes, and then if you were 1 year younger or 2 years younger, you would like some other stuff and you didn't have access to.
Yep.
So for me,
Yeah.
I was right on the edge of Power Rangers. So like I was in grade 5 and I was just old enough to be like, this is lame, you know what I mean? But I know that had I been like a year younger or maybe even just 2 years younger, I would have thought Power Rangers was a lot cooler than it was.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always hated Power Rangers because they were so fake and those really cheap effects, and it sucked. I think it did.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing. I've been told that the Japanese version is a lot better.
Is it?
Apparently it's more violent and they actually have like kind of darker storylines. Because remember, like the original Power Rangers in the States, they just took footage from this Japanese one and then just shot footage of American actors and I guess they just changed storylines around because some of them were a little too mature for the kids.
I think the enemies are all Japanese, right?
Yeah, because the way they wiggle around when they talk and stuff, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they do it that way now. Who knows? It's the same, I think, with video games as well, though, like certain franchises like Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I feel like had I been just a few years younger, I probably would have, been into that franchise, but it just sort of passed me by.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But whatever, man. It's all good. Are you doing internet research now? I hear you sort of...
Yeah, I'm looking at it, at the Power Rangers. It really looks bad, man. Batman was cool, actually, but...
Well, yeah, no,
Power
Batman the
Rangers-
Animated Series is the... If we're talking about 1992, then
Yep.
Batman the Animated Series was one of my favorites of all time.
Are you more of a Thundercats guy or something?
No, for me, cartoons from the actual 80s, my favorites were the Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ghostbusters, I love those too.
And I liked a lot Gummy Bears and DuckTales.
Yeah.
Then in the 90s, it's Batman the Animated Series. Like, that's my favorite. I don't really consider Simpsons a cartoon. Sometimes people do. Like, we're like, what about The Simpsons? I'm like, I kind of feel like The Simpsons is just more of a comedy show. Like, it's weird to refer to it as a cartoon.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's been there for ages, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Let's move forward in time here and listen to some more Timecop.
All right.
So we're gonna move forward here to Childhood Memories. That's the one that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that's actually my first song I released.
Yeah, now we're gonna listen to it. Well, because you also you released it early, but then you put it on an album afterwards, right? Was that the way that worked?
Yeah, it was. I was in contact with the Playmaker label from Belgium. And I had a few songs lying around, and they asked me if I was interested in releasing it on the album. And Childhood Memories was on there, and some other songs like Lost in Your Eyes. It was the instrumental version at first. I had some songs lying around, and they just asked me if I was interested in releasing with them, and that's what we did. And it was my first album. Yeah.
Well, let's listen to it, man. This is Childhood Memories by Timecop1983. And that was Childhood Memories by Timecop. 1983, and I am here right now with Timecop, Yordi.
Hey man, Andy.
We're having a good time. Who did the cover for that album?
For Childhood Memories, it was Master Control Program. I don't know him personally, but...
That is a Dwayne Diebolt? That's a... Or DeBolt?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard from him in ages. Now
Yeah, he's still around.
Oh, is he? Oh, I missed all of his work then. That's too bad.
Yeah, I chat with him occasionally. I know he's still doing stuff.
Yeah.
How's the internet research going right now? Did you pull up anything good?
I was looking up some funny Dutch swear words to translate to you in English.
Oh,
so.
I still want to tease that for later in the show.
Yeah.
That's always my favorite part whenever I have people on who speak a different language. It's like, I gotta know.
Yep.
How do you say fuck, man? It's so important to me. I imagine it's probably the same, or I bet you it's something that sounds similar, isn't it?
No, it doesn't at all.
Well, it's not. It's not like we say fieken or something. Like it's not.
Yeah, fieken is German actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is fucking in German.
How many? Do you speak more than 2 languages or like?
Well, we're a pretty small country, so we have to know a lot of languages. In school, we learn it a lot. So we learn German, French, English, of course. There's a lot of languages that are being taught at school, so that's great.
How well do you function with those other ones?
With German, I think I'm pretty good, or at least I understand it pretty good, because my uncle, who is here from the Netherlands, but he moved to Germany like 60 years ago, and his wife only speaks German. So I got to learn a lot of German from that and from school as well. But speaking, I'm not so good at it, but listening, it's pretty good. It's funny, they always speak German to us, my German family, and we always speak Dutch back to them because we both don't want to speak each other's language. We refuse to do that. Yeah. So it's pretty funny, but it works. And I got to learn a lot of German from it, so that's a big plus.
It's always impressive when people can, because, Canada and the States, it's not really, I don't know many bilingual people. I mean, like in Quebec, in Canada,
they are, right?
The French part, they're good because they can speak English and French.
Yep.
And French is our second language in the country, but we just sort of learn it in school.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's not quite the same as in like European countries where people all like understand like 4 or 5 different languages. And
yeah.
I mean, it's a great skill to have. I wish I could. I do sort of what you do. My mom is French, so yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Like my French is shit, but I understand when she talks.
Yeah.
So like I do the same thing where she speaks in French to me and I reply to her in English, but I do understand.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's good if it works that way. It's great. But like if you're in America or something, well, apart from Spanish, maybe you won't have to learn another language because everybody in the world speaks English. So
and even if you're trying to speak German, the only thing you need to know is Scheiße.
Yeah, ficken.
So that's all you need. You can go through a whole country just saying those 2 words and you'll be fine.
And beer is beer, so that's all you need.
You can just point. I know in Germany, like everyone's just running around drunk with beer, so like you just have to just point and then they'll hand you one. That's how it works over there.
That's Germany, just in one sentence. Yep.
Yeah. So you're saying now you're in the attic here where your studio is. So how does that?
Yeah.
How does that work? Could you have like a family? Are you relegated to that room? Like, are you trapped up there, or is that just the best place to set up?
My dungeon. My girlfriend locks me up in here every once in a while. At least 2 nights or 3 nights a week I'm allowed to go down. So the rest of the time I'm just here and I get bored, so I start making music. So that's kind of how I started making music.
Well, that's fun.
No, but no, I'm not tied to a family. I live together with my girlfriend in a house. Yeah, it was the biggest room that was still available. So I gladly took over the attic, but there's a washing machine here as well, so sometimes that's on, but it's okay.
Do you ever want to sample it into your music?
Maybe I should.
These are the great ideas that I come up with, which is why I'm not a music producer.
Well, it could sound great. I mean, there's a steady beat going on, so I might try it.
See, sometimes, these great ideas are born of stupidity, I guess.
Yep, that's what's making music is all about.
Yeah. All right, well, here's what we'll do. Although we do have some more music to listen to, and we'll do it in a second. Give me one swear word now, and we'll start doing them throughout the show.
All right, perfect. I have one. It's hondenlul.
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 Yeah. It basically means you're an asshole, but if you translate it, it says dog's dick. So you're a dog's dick.
So what part is dog and what part is dick? What is Honden?
Honden means dogs, and lul means dick.
Lil?
Lil, yeah. L-U-L.
Lil.
Like LOL, but then lil.
So, Honden Lil.
Yeah, so you're a dog dick.
I like that one. Dog's dick.
Oh, you're such a dog's dick, man.
All right, that's perfect. Good. All right, this is going to be a good show. We're gonna slowly dole these out over the course of the. Hey man, let's listen to another track. We're gonna move forward here.
Yeah.
I've actually just picked a track from each one of your albums because you've got a lot of stuff out. You've been doing music for many years, and so it's nice to just pick these random ones from each album. So we are at the Journeys album now.
Oh yeah.
And this was the track you did with Dana Jean Phoenix. This is Dreams by Timecop1983. And that was Dreams, featuring Dana Jean Phoenix by Timecop1983. Hondenlul.
Dog stick.
So this was a cool one because you did, I don't know if you gave Dana Jean a different instruction or if she just changed the way she was singing based on your song, but it's definitely a different sound to her voice than I've seen. She's kind of doing more sort of dreamy vocals on this track.
Yeah, I didn't really give her instructions. I never do that. I always give people the total freedom to do whatever they want, to come up with whatever they want, because it's really a collaboration. At least that's the way I see it. So I give them total freedom, and yeah, this is what she sent me the very first time, so I'm really happy with it. And I mean, my style is kind of dreamy, or at least that's the way I see it, and I think her voice fits great into my music, so I was really happy with it.
Yeah, no, it was a cool song, man.
Oh, thank you.
I saw you were I remember, like, I think Sunglasses Kid posted a picture because you guys were all playing some show together. It was you and a Sunglasses Kid and College
and Metelvin. Yeah, it was at the Amsterdam Dance event.
So how was that?
Oh, that was really amazing. This Joel from Urban Road Records, he organized the event. It was 1984 Night Arcade, and it was just awesome. And I've been talking to Ed, Sunglasses Kid, for a long time. Yeah, it was so cool to finally meet him, and we had a lot of fun because before the show, there's a lot of canals in Amsterdam, so they booked a private boat for us to do a little tour of the canals, and we had dinner on the boat, so we really got to know each other. That's really great. Also with David College and Nico Metelvin, so it was really great, and we had a great time on the boat, and then the event still had to start, so it was an amazing experience. I felt like a rock star on it. We were on a boat that was actually rented by Rihanna as well when she was in Amsterdam, so it was really special.
Was that like the boat's claim to fame? Did like the guy come downstairs like, Rihanna rented this boat?
Yeah, that was the first thing he said. Hey, Rihanna was on this boat. My name is Peter. I'm your captain. Yeah, kind of like that.
Well, that's cool. How did that show work exactly? Like, how long were each of your sets? Like, was anyone like a main act, or were you all just doing like a certain amount of time? Like, how did that?
Well, of course, I mean, College and Metelvin are really big names in the scene, so I always see them, or I saw them as the kind of headliners of the event, but they were playing a DJ set, so I'm not really sure if you can see it as a headliner then. Of course, they're big names, but as in making music. So I think we were all treated the same. It was the intention that the guy from Urban Road Records, Joel, started with DJing, but unfortunately his USB stick didn't work, so he couldn't play anything. So College and Metelvin started playing, and after that I did my show for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Then Ed, the Sunglasses Kid, did his show, and then it was back to the DJing of College and Metelvin again. But it was amazing. It was completely sold out right from the beginning. There was a line of like 45 minutes even to get into the venue. So for synthwave in Holland, I really think it was really special that it was so big. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience for all of us.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
How did it work then for like carting your gear? Like, how much gear do you bring when you're doing a live show?
Yeah, it depends. If I'm in Holland doing a show, I usually bring a few of my hardware synths as well. But if I go abroad, then I just take my laptop with a keyboard controller and a launch pad with it. So it's a pretty basic setup, but I can still do my show anyway. But with the hardware synths, I always prefer it because, yeah, it gives you more of a stage presence.
Yeah. Well, we have Hondenlul.
Yeah.
Hondenlul. All right, what else do you got for me?
We do have a lot of words or swear words that start with kut. That means cunt.
I would never have guessed.
Really?
Wait, so how do you say it? Say it again?
Kut.
Kurt. Like that?
Kut.
Kut.
It's spelled K-U-T.
Kut.
Kut, yeah.
Kut.
And we have like kut sock. You're a cunt sack. Or kut.
Do you mean sack like a bag?
Yeah, like a bag. You're a cunt bag. And we also we also have kutzooi. That's when we say like, ah, damn it, I did something wrong. We say kutzooi. That means cunt mess.
Wait, so okay, are these like swear words that like kids can't say this?
No, of course not. No, it's like the K word, and it's the bad word. It's like the F word in English.
I like the idea. It's the K word.
Yeah, we always
Don't say the
you
K
said
word.
The K word. Yeah.
So kut, like that.
Good. Yeah.
Good sack. What was sack again?
Good sock. Yeah.
Good sock.
Yeah. And it's like when we're saying fuck, then we say good. Dat doet pijn. That hurts a lot. Cunt. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, you know what? Lately, I mean, it sounds terrible, but like my show. This is the stupidest show. But yeah, because I used to swear a lot. I mean, I still do. And there comes a point where certain swear words just don't satisfy anymore. So like, saying fuck is pretty bad, I guess. But now when I stub my toe or actually hurt myself, I skip directly to, I guess in our case, the C word. Not the K word, because that's the only word that like satisfies me now. Like if I do something stupid and hurt myself, you have to graduate. God. Yeah, you got to go to the worst word.
Yeah. So the F word isn't really that bad anymore.
I mean, it is, but it's just like it's not when you need something good. I mean, sometimes people don't understand when I tell them that. They're just like, "Oh, that's a harsh word." Because in North America, people like the C word is seen as way more harsh than the F word.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah. Like it's like yeah. That's why, so it's interesting, like, when I have people on, like, in Europe or, like, in England, like, it's not a big deal, like that. I mean, that word, it's still a swear word, but, I mean, it's not the same as it is over here for some reason.
No, yeah, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I thought the F word was, like, the forbidden word to say on TV.
Here it's the C word, it's the C word.
Oh, wow.
Good.
We say fuck here all the time as well. When I hurt myself, I say either kut, so cunt, or I say fuck, yeah.
My show is like if I was a child. I feel like sometimes I just
doesn't matter. Aren't we all children inside?
I guess that's true, man. A lot of this nostalgia and all this. Anyway. Let's listen to some music.
Yeah.
How about that? This has all been very, very lovely talking. This is lovely talking. I think I'm like forgetting how to speak my own language.
This is lovely talking. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move to the Waves EP.
Yeah.
And we're gonna listen to a cool track called Tonight by Timecop1983. And that was Tonight by Timecop1983. That's a cool track. I know later on you did like a vocal version, collaboration with somebody on a later album.
Yeah, with Back in the Future.
But that was cool. I dig the instrumental as well. I think it's a good track.
Well, thank you. But I always like the vocal versions much more because I know the music. I mean, that's what I do all the time. So for me, it isn't so special anymore. And if somebody records lyrics to it, for me, it works best. But I mean, everybody has their opinion, right?
What happened in that instance, anyways? Like, why did he put vocals on? Is that something like they just did?
Back in the Future, they contacted me through email. It was two guys starting a band. He asked me for some songs that he could record to or write lyrics to and then record on them. And that's where Tonight was born. They recorded it in the studio and added some elements to it, like some guitar playing to it, and they mastered the song. So yeah, I think they did a really great job. Some people aren't that much of a fan of the rapped part in it, but I think it's great. I mean, it's something different, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting when people get into that too with the synthwave, because I know like Sunglasses Kid, he's got a rapping track on his last album.
Yep.
And it's always fun. It's fun, right? Because it's sort of that rap from the 80s is different than
it is different.
Than the
new
rap, and it's more just about sort of like fun things and sneakers and stuff.
Yeah, well, with my track with Tonight, the rap part isn't that much of a really old school rap, I think, but I think it really fits the song still. So
what do you do in your free time, man?
Well, I do make a lot of music, of course, and I do cycling as well, some road racing and mountain biking. I used to do cycling matches as well, so competition. But lately I haven't been doing much, so for the last few months I only cycle like once or twice.
Does that mean you got like big strong legs?
Well, really muscular legs. I used to have them.
I'd like to just note that is probably the best question I've ever asked on this show.
Yeah.
That's a very important one. I think I'm gonna ask every person that from now on. Just
do you have muscular legs?
Do you have big strong legs?
Like really casually, like it's a great music. Do you have really strong legs?
Good suck.
Good suck. On the little.
Oh, so stupid.
Yeah, but I gained a few pounds from not cycling, so that's pretty bad actually. Maybe 25 pounds or something. So I should start cycling again, but I just can't find the time. And the weather is really shitty, so used to eat so much candy and cookies as well. But when I was cycling, it didn't matter. I was cycling like 4 or 5 days in a week for 5 or 6 hours straight, so it didn't really matter. I didn't gain any weight.
Oh, I love fucking candy. I can't stop. Like I'm
no,
if we buy a lot of junk, and if it's there, I have what I call the 4 basic food groups of snacking. So it's like you have your chocolate, then you have your candy, then you've got your chips, and if you have like a can of pop or whatever, and then you can switch between each one because it can't, like if you just have a big bag of candy, like just you can't really eat the whole thing. Like you sort of start to slow down because it's all gummy and all this.
Yeah.
But then if you can eat some chips in between, then that sort of resets your palate so that you can have more of the other. So if you have all of this stuff just sitting on the counter, I can just sit there and I grab a little mini chocolate bar, I eat that, I grab a fistful of chips, I eat those, I turn around, I eat some gummy bears.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. And they also say sparkling water helps a lot because of the gases that fill up your stomach, so you won't be hungry anymore.
Ooh, that's sneaky.
That's a little tip.
Yeah.
I'm a musician / veterinarian. No, not veterinarian. That's something different. Maybe
we'll
that
take
as
it.
well.
That is a veterinarian tip, and that's the best one.
Yep.
Is drink sparkling water to fill your belly. Well, you did a track for a trailer for a game called Crossing Souls, and we're going to listen to that track now because it's cool. This is Mercury by Timecop1983. And that was Mercury by Timecop1983. You did that for a game Kickstarter trailer?
Yeah, that's right. For Crossing Souls by 4Addict. They asked me to be a part of the soundtrack, so that's really great. That was my first step into soundtracking, so I was really, really happy with that. And I'm doing the soundtrack together with Chris Kapke. He's from Germany. That's a 16 or 17 year old guy that's really classically taught. He does a lot of classical music and like old school, like Disney style of soundtracking. So that's a kind of an interesting combination, but I think it works well. And they're working on the game, and I'm working on the soundtrack. And hopefully they will release it this year or maybe next year. They're pretty busy with it.
I think I saw on Steam that they said 2017, but maybe that'll change. I think it said spring, but have you got an opportunity to see some of it, like in the beta build or anything?
Yeah. I had some tryout levels or some beta levels, and it's amazing. It's a really old school feeling to it. It's a pixel art kind of game. So it looks amazing, feels amazing, and hopefully the people will like the music in it as well.
How did they get in touch with you?
Just they sent me an email that they were gonna do a Kickstarter campaign, and they asked me if I was interested in doing some soundtracking for it. Then Devolver Digital got involved. They published the Hotline Miami series as well. You probably heard of it, right?
No, never.
Oh, no.
I've never heard of Drive. I've never heard of Hotline Miami.
Nah.
What else haven't I heard of? Synthwave, Synthetics FM. Hey, I don't know why I just thought of this, but we were talking about cycling earlier, and eating junk food and gaining weight. Like, do you have a metabolism though where you got to keep on the move? Is that part of it?
Well,
or do you just feel like it is all the terrible food?
I never knew I did, but now I do have it.
Well, that's what being 30 is all about, man. I feel like it's like once you get in your 30s, then all of a sudden all of that stuff. I mean, I know there's people out there who, when they're overweight or whatever, and they go, oh, I feel so jealous of those people who can just eat so much and they don't show it. And I'm like, they will. Like once you reach a certain age.
Eventually, everybody does.
Yeah, if you're talking about people in their 20s or whatever. But mind you, I'm also surprised, when I see like big fat people. Yeah. Because I always think to myself like, oh, I feel bad. Like they're eating like the food I'm eating and it's affecting them differently. But then when I actually like see how much they eat,
then it's a different story.
Oh wow, oh yeah, because I mean like I feel like I eat a lot.
Yep.
For me, and then I go like, oh wow, like they're drinking like whole bottles of pop, like a drink,
2 liters or something.
Yeah, it's like for me like 1 can of Coke a day feels like too much, and it probably is.
Yep. I have the same now.
So that's the thing. Like I'll have a can of Coke with dinner, and even then I feel sort of like, oh, I gotta drink the whole can. I have a problem with portions. So like if someone gives me a big plate of food, I feel like I have to eat the whole plate.
Yeah, me too. And if it's a smaller plate, you'll eat it as well, and then you're full too, right?
Yeah. You're just as satisfied. It's funny that way.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can keep going, especially like hamburgers, because I love hamburgers so much.
Oh man.
And I can eat several, like I don't care. Like if someone puts like a few hamburgers on the plate, like I'll eat them all, but if I have one, I'm happy too,
Yep. You're satisfied. I know what you mean. I have the same problem, especially with candy and cookies and things like that.
Well, yeah, candy, man, it's just so, oh God. I mean, I'm saying this right now. I know in the other room, I can just sense it there waiting for me. I have all these fucking bags of like
eat me.
with the fucking mini chocolate bars and all that stuff, and I want it all.
I just don't buy it well, I still buy it, but not that much anymore. That also helps a lot.
Yeah, see, it's tricky though if you live with someone who doesn't want to stop eating the candy.
Yep.
Then it's like now you have to like drag them down into it for your life change.
Yep.
Like that's the thing. It's just like, hey, because if someone lives with me or whatever. And I don't know why I'm saying this, like I'm not talking about my wife, but if if someone like, hey, we should all go for a run, we should start running every day, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
I'll go running when I want them.
Which is never. And so then I understand that feeling. If I then told somebody else just like, hey, you're gonna start eating your diet based on what I need because I can't help myself.
Yep.
Maybe it's a little unfair, People can enjoy their Coke in peace.
Yeah, everybody's got their thing, people can do whatever they want.
This is a great conversation.
Doesn't make any sense at all, but hey, it doesn't matter.
I love anytime when people come on this show, it's like I don't think they ever really know where it's going to go, and it's always something so stupid.
I've listened to a lot of your interviews, and I was kind of expecting something like this, which is great. It's not a bad thing at all, but it's great. We can just casually talk and talk a bit about music as well, so it's great.
Well, I think even sometimes when people prepare, I think I've had a few people who like they come sort of really prepared to talk about their music, and then all of a sudden we're talking about our favorite kind of jackets or something, and then the whole thing gets like fucking derailed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But let's move forward in time here in the fucking Timecop library to the album Reflections.
Yeah.
Which is a cool album. We're going to listen to a song called Drifting Away by Timecop 1983. Hondelul, was it?
Hondelul.
Hondelul.
Yeah. Dog's dick.
And that was Drifting Away by Timecop1983. And I'm here with Timecop right now. Yordi.
Yeah,
Yordi. Do you actually say like Yordi or is it like Yorde?
Yordi.
Yordi. Like it is a strong D sound.
Yeah, it's a more of like a strong O. Yordi.
Yordi.
Yeah, that's right.
Yordi.
Yeah.
How do you say your last name?
Yeah, I'd love to hear you try that. Leenaerts.
Okay, because it looks to me like I would have said like Leonards. That's how I would have said it.
Oh, it kind of sounds the same. Leenaerts, yeah.
Leonards. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Does that mean anything?
Not that I'm aware of. It's a small town in Belgium, I think, but I'm not really sure about it. I don't think it actually means anything.
It's always cool when people have last names that do.
Yeah.
You know, if your last name's like fucking Swordblade or something, you know?
Yep, that would be cool.
It would be cool.
Mine is just doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yours means something, right?
It actually does, but it's lame what it means.
What does it mean?
It doesn't mean the word last, like as in last place or whatever. It's a wooden thing that goes into for making shoes. It's like a wooden foot shape that you would build a shoe onto.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. For a shoe, yeah.
Yeah, and that thing is called a last.
Yeah, it's kind of the same in Dutch. It's laced in Dutch.
Laced, yeah. See, that's my alias. Whenever I make up my name, if I have to sign up to something on the internet, I always write it as laced.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always or Lastovsky.
Lastovsky, yeah. That's the Russian version.
Yeah, where it fucked me up because I would like be emailing someone it was important like through school or whatever and they wouldn't respond and I'm like, why aren't you answering my email? I'm like, wait, who are you? I'm just like, and like, are you Dr. Andreas Lastovsky? I'm like, yeah, like I'm not going to put my real information on everything's different now because you know, if you have an account that's tied to your fucking credit card or something, like you have to put your real name in or else the fucking thing doesn't work. But you know, when email first started, and I still have my email address from when I first got an email address.
Yeah.
I still have my first one, although I don't use it as much anymore. I had to navigate away from it, but
I have the same.
So I have a Hotmail address.
Yep.
And people, every time I tell them I have a Hotmail address, they look at me like I'm just some fucking grandpa or something.
You're old.
Yeah, it's just like Hotmail. I'm like, isn't Hotmail still a thing? Like, I thought it still was a thing.
Used to be cool.
Was it ever cool?
Well, no. Okay, no, it wasn't.
It was a thing. Do you like play games or watch movies or anything? Or are you like a physical dude? You like sports and stuff?
Nah, I just not really, not anymore. I used to do a lot of cycling, but I did it so much I don't feel like it anymore. But I do watch a lot of movies with my girlfriend. And a lot of shows, like series. And
do you have like a Dutch Netflix?
Yeah, we do, of course. We're not living under a stone or anything, huh?
Yeah. How is Dutch Netflix? You got a lot of content on that?
Yeah, it's not the same as in the US, unfortunately.
Well, neither is Canadian Netflix.
Oh, no, isn't it?
No.
Man, that sucks. I hate it because there's a lot of shows that are the same as in the US, but they're like at season 6 or 7, and we're still at season 2, so that sucks. But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great to have it. Yeah, it's better than downloading it illegally, so we're doing something good here.
Yeah. Well, it's just easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they made it because that's the thing that pisses me off is when, you know, when companies will complain about piracy, but then if you actually pay money for the thing, it's actually harder to, a few years ago when I actually I use Adobe After Effects. That's a program I used. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an expensive program. Now you got to sign up to the Adobe Creative Cloud, but back then it was like $1,000 for that program.
Yep.
What pissed me off was if you downloaded the cracked version of that program, it was easier to install. Like you just click on it and you would install it. But then when I finally paid for it and I was thinking like, okay, you know what? I've used this program a lot in my life. It's the one I use the most when I'm doing videos and stuff. Like I'll pay for it even though it's fucking $1,000. And I did. And then to install the program required like fucking 10 more steps. Like I gotta
like registration and maybe some dongles even.
Oh man, it was so stupid. Luckily I didn't have to dongle anything, but I fucking had to,
that sucks so much.
I had to, like, you put it in and then you have to fucking sign up. So you got to register for the Adobe account. Then the Adobe account has to be live and active while you type in your password so they can confirm it. Like you had to do all of these steps.
Yeah,
and I was just like, fucking the cracked version was easier than this.
I know about it, man. It sucks. But, I mean, they have to do it, right? That's the only way to get an official version, and otherwise everybody can download it anyway, so...
It makes sense. It's just, I feel like part of the thing is it should be like when you pay...
Yeah.
One of the perks of paying is, hey, if you pay, it's actually easier than you're sneaking around, downloading torrents and stuff like that. And I feel like Netflix is one of those services where it's easy. It's just easier. It's just, it's there. You can watch it. You don't have to fucking fill your hard drive with gibberish, and you don't have to go, But
on the Pirate Bay or whatever. So
yeah.
It is. It's really easy, and with the apps on the TV as well. So that works great.
They should give me some money now for this.
Yep.
Me
too. A lot.
Yeah. I think they need some promotion. I don't think they're doing so well. Netflix. I don't think anyone's heard of it.
Get a subscription now.
Let's listen to another track, dude.
Yeah.
Here's a cool one. This is a track called Lovers from the Lovers EP.
Yeah.
This is I just said it. This is Lovers featuring Sea Waves by Timecop1983. And that was Lovers featuring Sea Waves by Timecop1983. I'm with Timecop right now.
Hey.
Who is Sea Waves? I don't think I've heard of them before.
It's two guys, Simon and Dan, I think. Si and Dan. And they're two guys from England. And yeah, they're making great music. I was listening a lot to their music on SoundCloud. And they said something on Twitter like, look who's at the top of our listening list. And it was me. I was like, okay, I'm guilty, sorry. And then we started chatting. And yeah, that's when we decided to do a track together. So they're really, really talented guys. So that's great.
It's always nice the way that when these collaborations can happen. I miss the joy of the internet when it's working right.
When it's working right, of course.
So what's on tap, man? What's on tap for the fucking future Timecop? What you got coming up?
Yeah, there's a lot coming up. I've started to do more live shows, so that's great. And there's a vinyl release going to happen together with Urban Road Records. Will be a vinyl version of Reflections. And yeah, just a lot. I'm working on Lovers Part 2 as well.
Just in case this interview airs in like 3 months' time, just pretend all of this stuff happened and talk about how great it was.
Yeah, sure. It's really hard for me. Well, I had a gig in Russia.
And it was great? Was it great?
It was awesome. Really awesome, man. It was a really good time. Drinking a lot of vodka, dancing with Putin and things like that. It was awesome. Had the best time ever.
That does sound like a great time.
It was.
Lovers Part 2, man. That's going to be the next like official release?
Yeah, it will be the next official release. It will be a sequel, of course, to Lovers Part 1. And I just started working on it, so I'm not really sure when it comes out, but I hope around the summer of this year. And I'm doing some collabs for it as well, so that's really great stuff. We'll see about it, how it goes.
So if you had to rank all the people that you've collaborated with, which one do you like the best?
Wow. They're all great.
Oh, but then you have to say which one you think is the worst. All right, that's the way this question goes. Who's the best and who's the worst?
Well, I'm not going to say the worst because I've never released with the worst. So that's your answer there.
You're a very diplomatic guy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so many great people, and I'm not being cliche or anything, but I really think they're all great. But I think my favorite is Let's Talk with Josh Daly. He made the song so perfect, so that's my favorite, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a really good song. Because the one that FM84 put out on his album, it's slightly different, right? Like that was like a reworking.
Yeah, it's a reworking, and he added some elements to it, really great elements actually, and he did a really cool remix. But the structure is kind of like the same, but it's still different. It's great. I'm really happy with what he did.
Me too, man. It was good.
Wow, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cole is a great guy, so yeah, I'm really honored that he did it.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a fucking cool thing. Well, listen, we can probably fucking wrap this up. But is there any other swear words that we need to know?
I just looked one up. It's klerenleier.
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 Literally, it means clothes sufferer. Like clothes you wear.
Clothes?
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Clothes sufferer.
Yeah.
What?
That's the literal translation.
In what context would you use that word?
It's like a motherfucker. Oh, you klerenleier, you motherfucker.
You clothes sufferer.
Yeah.
Wait, so like, can kids say that one?
Nah, well, it's not as bad as a kut or a lul, but of course they can't say it, no. And there's also a pretty funny one, actually. I just read it here. It's lamzak. Like when someone's really lazy, they don't do anything, you say, lamzak. And it literally means lame sack.
Lame sack.
Or lame bag.
I love anything that ends with sack. That's just like, I call people a lame sack. I guess in English you would call someone, like, if they're lazy like that, you call them like a sack of shit.
Yeah, like that.
Like, you lazy sack of shit. So is there like a Dutch like version of shit?
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna end the show.
Yeah. It's scheid. It's almost the same. Scheid.
Scheid.
Scheid, yeah.
Scheid. Is it with an I sound, like shite, or is it shat?
No, it's S-C-H-I-J-T. So, of course, you pronounce it differently, but it's and then ait.
Shite.
Yeah. Like that.
Stupid. I hope people appreciate this great show.
I'm not sure about it. I don't think I can ever do an interview again because they don't want to talk to me again.
Don't worry, it's all my fault. So, is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to mention?
I've mentioned my vinyl release coming up, so I don't think there's something we need to talk about. It was a pretty good interview.
Yeah, I dug real deep in this one.
Me too.
Fucking bicycles and Dutch swear words. I think that's the...
Yeah, and diet tips.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there were some good diet tips in there.
Yep.
We did good work here today.
Sparkling water with lemon.
Yeah.
That's the thing you need to remember.
Well, anyways, dude, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. You have a lovely Dutch evening. Keep making cool music.
Thank you. You have a great Canadian day as well.
I'll try, man. Maybe we'll end with a little track here. So this is a track called Visions.
Yeah.
Off the Running in the Dark EP, and I've been chatting with, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden talking in a calm voice, but and I've been chatting here tonight with Timecop1983, and this is Visions. How do you say goodbye in Dutch?
We say it here in the South. We have a special way. We say houdoe.
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 That sounds like a Street Fighter thing.
Houdoe.
Yeah. Houdoe. Houdoe.
Hadouken!
Oh, I guess that's why I'm saying that. I'm an idiot.
If we say it like that, it means bye-bye Ken. So Ryu and Ken are enemies, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, that's right. Yeah.
Ken.
Hadouken! Has anyone ever made that joke?
I think I just made it up.
Hey, man, you better fucking patent that shit before it's too late. A very specific Southern joke, Dutch.
About Street Fighter.
It's so obscure I can't even properly articulate what it is. But anyways, man, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
And we'll now end with a little track. This is Visions by Timecop1983. Howdo.
Howdo.
And that was Timecop1983. And that was a funny conversation. I always love swear words in other languages. There's just something about the translation that always makes me laugh. Anyways, thanks a lot for listening to the show. Hope you guys have a lovely weekend. And tune in next time to Beyond Synth, the best synthwave chat show there is.
Andy lads, coming up fast, breaking all the rules with his podcast. I'm already fine, music all night, Beyond Synth, on fire. Retro, on the metro, this is essential. We can't let you run away. Beyond Synth,